welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to the Abarth. Today, if you recall from the last Abarth video that I had, we had an issue whereby the ABS sensor, I was going to say ERS, not the ERS, the stability control and the Hill Hold came up on the dash, and I was trying to work out whether or not it was a sense failure or a bit more to it. So anyway, long story short is a bit of Googling. A few people have come up with some recommendations, potentially ABS sensor failure on the front. I suggested it could be just a weak battery as well, but Google seems to highlight this, which is a brake sensor, and it's a bit dark in here. It's in, oh, you can't even see it. It's basically in, bear with me, let me see if I can put it on. There we go. It's there. And that is basically unplugged and plugged back in. Now, I'm not sure if it totally clears the sensor, clears the problem, or whether you've got to clear it down somehow, but basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap that out and then hopefully give it a try, and hopefully that's going to be the fix. It's a very basic thing. You can pick these up, I think, second hand on eBay for about £9. Luckily I got this one for free, so luckily it's a so far it's a free fix if it works. So let's go and try and get this bad boy out. So first it's clipping this, and then I think we turn it so it goes within the hole. There we go, and out it pops. Now we're going to replace it with this one. So I'm doing this in a very awkward position, which causes me to sound like I'm strained. Oh. Alright, so it goes in and twists. Is that clipped in? I think that's clipped. Right, so when you press the brake pedal, that basically presses against that. So as far as I'm concerned, that has now all been replaced. So let's now go and see whether or not by turning the ignition on it clears it, or whether we've got to do something else. Going to give it a few seconds, just waiting for, because I'm that type of person that goes, yeah, it's done, and then all of a sudden it just flows it back up in my face. At the moment it's not displaying any problems, so I think we've sorted it. So fingers crossed, I think it's done, you know. So if you ever get a failure that sensor controls ESP, ABS and the hill hold, but other than that, that replaces everything, and it looks like we've sorted the problem. So yeah, in regards to hill hold, again, done a bit of research and speaking with people like Paul from Love 500, etc., and Alex as well on Instagram. Hill hold has been bought into Fiat 500s from on the refresh. So on this car, the 2010, you won't get hill hold, but if you upgrade the dash has got hill hold sort of built into it, kind of thing, from newer cars. So you have to end up clearing that down with multi ECU scan, which the proxy alignment kind of removes anyway, so you shouldn't ever get that problem. But yeah, right, I think we are potentially good to go again with the, oh yeah, one other thing which was pointed out, which I need to get sorted. The little like plastic thing which clips, I think here, which stops the seat belt from falling all the way down to the bottom, that's come off. So I need to order some of those to clip that in, to make sure that doesn't come and fall to the bottom. But other than that, I think we're done. Yay. Good. I was given this for free, which is the upgraded interior, and I was going to upgrade it with this one that's already in there. But again, because this was free, I just took it anyway, and it looks just a bit better. There's some issues here which I need to resolve if I am going to use it. Number one is the little plate here that goes here. Let me just put here. It's a different shape. And number two, you can see here it's like an S shape, and these are diagonal. So I either need a new replacement here, or this just won't fit at all. But I took it anyway because it was free. So we'll have a think and work out whether or not. You can see it is very different in shape, but it might work, it might not. But yeah, it's something to think about, just to give it a refresh. So yeah, right, we'll see if we've got anything more to do on it. Right, so it is Wednesday, lovely wet day, and this Abarth is now going in for its MOT. I don't know why. I expect at least a couple of advisories. I've not still driven it because obviously it's not had an MOT ever since I got it. So I'm going to travel about 5 miles to where it needs to be done. As I say, I expect a couple of advisories, and but at least I should be able to use it later on. I can't see it failing, and even if it did fail, it would be something stupid like a headlight beam or something. I can't see it being a catastrophic failure. So other than that, as I say, it needs a massive clean, and still need to attach the fog light surrounds as well, which I still haven't got around to doing. So yeah, so let's get on and let's hope for the best. So drive into the MOT place, and it's all flashed up again. The ESC and the Hill Hold all unavailable. I was literally just going down a dual carriageway, didn't do anything at all, and apart from just normal driving, and it's flagged up. So I'm going to go into the MOT place, tell them that it's on there, and then they're probably going to just come back. There's no point in having an MOT because they're just going to reject it, aren't they? So yeah, I can only think it's the dash, and the digital dash just doesn't like what's going on, and that's why it throws it up, unfortunately. So yeah, well, it's really annoying because I did research into it, and at no point did it ever come up that this was a potential issue. And I know people have done the dash conversion before, so I don't know. So it's clearly not the switch. So that was all a bit pointless, wasn't it? Right, let's go and find out. Okay, so we're back from the MOT test. There's a little interesting story on this one. So obviously, I've gone in there and I've said to him, look, just to let you know, have a look at the dash, let me know what's going to fail and what's, you're going to ignore. And he said the Hill Hold, he said he'd ignore because it's just a warning message. It doesn't actually come up on the dash itself. And the ESC would be a failure because it brings up a symbol on the dash as a failure. So he said, do you want me to put it through anyway? And I said, well, I'm here now, so put it through and then I'll have 10 days to come and fix it, which will either be to change out the dash or just plug in my multi-ECU scan and go from there. Went off, had a coffee and came back, and he advised that the car had passed the MOT because when he turned the car on and put it into the workshop, all of the faults are completely cleared. Now, whilst I was having my coffee, I was Googling it, and there was a lot of discussion saying that potentially it's the battery and the voltage from the battery that's causing the problem, and you need to just get rid of the battery. So I wondered if maybe the run to the MOT place had given the battery a bit of a lease of life, because bearing in mind it has been sat around for a while. So he was like, no problems at all there. But I'm still tempted to change the battery anyway, because when he reversed the car out of the MOT bay to hand it to me after I'd sorted out payment and everything, it all lit up again. So it indicates that it is temperamental, but I do wonder if it's based on the voltage and the battery itself. Because this battery on this, which I did put in as a newish battery, is only a 40 ampere battery, and I think that's quite low. So I'm tempted to change that out and put something in a bit more beefy. So yeah, because of this fault, I can't keep driving around with it because it's just going to do my head in. But it's technically passed, so that's good. However, the other problem, it did initially fail, and he told me that it failed because the switch which I replaced down here, it was effectively biting all the time and causing the brake lights to be on all the time. So there wasn't a massive amount of room, if you imagine, between the switch and the sort of lever that pushes the switch. So effectively, rather than me pressing the brake and then it pressing together, it was constantly like that. He's fixed that for me for free and has then repassed the MOT. So here is the MOT. We have advisories on, which I thought it would come about, both front suspension arms are worn, and we've also got suspension components corroded at the rear. So those are the three. I mean, it's a 2010 car, so yeah, that's sort of expected. But those are the three advisories on the Abarth. So where are we at? Let's just get out of the car. So my plan is I am going to run this to work to try and charge the battery and see whether or not giving it a good blast down the motorway for half an hour potentially clears the problem. If it does clear the problem, then I know it's going to be the battery, and therefore if it is the battery, then I can go and swap out for something that's a bit more beefy. So that's my plan. I'm going to take it to work today and yeah, give it a run. Other than that, however, it's absolutely filthy inside and out, but the main thing is we have an MOT. I can use it now, and I can get around to giving it a good clean, because I would imagine there's lots of subscribers, particularly one, it's all in the detailing, who is probably losing his marbles at the sight of the state of this Abarth. So yeah, I think that's going to be it, really. Bit of a eventful story for today, but hopefully we're getting somewhere with that. And then I'm still in two minds about whether to keep it or not. It's very handy to drive to and from work, that's for sure, but I do prefer something with cruise control, and I do miss my 8 Series BMW, so yeah. But anyway, that's a story for another time. I'll won't chat too much more, and I'll let you guys head off and crack on with your day. Okay, so an update on the Abarth. So where are we at? If you followed the video all the way through so far, you'll know that we changed the switch, and that initially made it better, and then it brought the fault back. So clearly it wasn't the brake switch. I did say right at the beginning, thought it was the battery or the dashboard. So I've run the car now for, I think it was one trip to work, which technically is like an hour, just over an hour in total. And I don't think it cleared the fault. So it didn't clear the fault on an hour's driving. However, I started it up one day, and the fault just went. There was no sign of the ABS, no sign of Hill Hold, nothing at all. Hadn't done anything at all, just kept with it. Now, since then, and I've done another couple of journeys, that fault has completely gone. Totally gone. So, let's hope, or let's try it again today, because I'm going to go out in it. Right. Ignition on. And it's not showing again. So let's turn that off. So where are we at? What have we decided? Long story short, after this video and bit of investigation, I think we can safely say it was the battery. I think the battery just needed a good blast, it needed a good charge, it needed to get itself back up to where it is. So that ESC, ABS, everything that goes with it is entirely based on battery voltage. If you've got horrendous battery voltage, battery's low, anything like that, is going to throw up those errors. When you look on Google, so wait for the siren to go. When you wait for the symbols to go, and you're thinking that it's various things, and I've had a look on Google, and they've sent it into the garage, and the garage have changed that brake sensor and it's fixed it, But you look at Google and some people have said it's your battery. So in my opinion, if your battery's on the way out and you get that fault, change the battery. If you've put in a newish battery and it just needs a good couple of runs, then just bear with it, and it potentially might go. But I think it's all to do with the voltage, it's to do with the battery. So ESC, Hill Hold, ABS, your car's telling you, in my opinion, one of the main problems is the low battery. So there you have it. And so yeah, so there's no issues with the dash. The dash is integrated quite nicely into the Abarth now, and we're pretty much there. The only thing now that I've got to do, that I'm keeping my eye on, is potentially swapping these out, because obviously it's quite a dark car. Could do with these being slightly different colour, and then it just needs a good clean. The surrounds are on now onto the lower grille, so that's all good. Thanks to Paul at Love 500 for providing me with one of them. And yeah, and then one other thing which I'll briefly discuss with you all is this. Obviously with the digital dash and this old school 2008 radio doesn't suit, so I want to upgrade to a touchscreen radio, which I'm all for. However, whether the integration works is another thing, because I just read this morning and someone seemed to have done something and then said that their Interscope sound system didn't play anymore, which worries me slightly about doing all of this, and the Interscope bass and whatever you want to call it, subwoofer that's under the seat might not go with it, and I don't want to spend all that money and find out that it's not working. But otherwise I want to just give that all a refresh, and then we can get around to giving it a proper clean, because you can see we're still in a very dirty state. So that's it. Just remember, check out the battery for your ESC faults. So yeah, until next time, thank you for watching. Hope you found it helpful, and I'll see you all very soon for another video on the Abarth and the other cars that I have on the channel. See you later.